Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we have a review of Hot Toys Darth Revan from Star Wars. And this is a figure that I'm shocked that Hot Toys made, especially in the day and age of Disney owning Star Wars now. If you're not aware of this is a figure that came from a video game back in like the mid 2000s, Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR. And I won't go into spoilers. If you haven't played the game and you like Star Wars, you owe it to yourself to play it and to discover the story on your own. I won't spoil anything here, but this is one of the main characters from that game. And there's a couple versions of him in the canon. He started off as a light side, as a Jedi, and then he went dark side. That's about as far as I'll go. And so this is the Darth version of Revan. And they didn't make two versions. They only made this version. This is the one that most people know and like, though. So I'm glad they went with the dark side version. And this packaging is top-notch, typical Star Wars packaging with the band that goes around. But it's got really some really nice, like a magenta type color. Really pops. Not exactly the color of his purple blade, but it really makes this figure pop. And this is from their video game Masterpiece series. So this is VGM 62. I guess that denotes the 60-second figure they've made from video games. And I got mine from Sideshow. And there was two versions of this figure. As I turn the box and show you this, there was a collector edition, which is kind of the standard edition. And there was an exclusive version, which comes with a gold coin. I mean, not a real gold coin, but kind of like the Power of the Force figures in the 80s. With Return of the Jedi, kind of like a coin like that. So I think the coin is in here. I haven't opened this up yet, but I think the coin's in here, so that's kind of cool. I got that version. And then you see the Disney hologram. It's just an official product of Disney, which, you know, as you probably know, Disney debunked a lot of this extended universe stuff that I love so much, that many of us love so much, and they deemed it Legends. And honestly, I don't know if they've even made Revan canon. I've kind of stopped with Disney and Star Wars for the most part. I just don't follow their stuff. For me, I grew up on the original trilogy, and I still love the EU stuff, so I still stick to that as being my Star Wars canon. But regardless, man, look how fantastic this looks. If you notice, the mask looks very Mandalorian, and we won't go into too much detail on that, but he did fight in the Mandalorian Wars in the original Legends canon. And yeah, anyway, let's get this thing unboxed and take a closer look. Okay, when you take the cover off, you have this slip cover and a picture of the figure with some nice lighting, the red and purple. These have been obviously digitized with Photoshop, but it looks really good. I love that he has both the sabers. Let's see what he looks like. I haven't seen him yet. This is my first viewing of this figure here. Here we go. Oh, super cool. There's the coin. Oh, and the coin is three-dimensional. It's not just flat. Oh, that is super cool. There's both his lightsabers. The sabers are actually really long. The hilts are long. I don't remember his hilts being that long. Interesting. Oh, this looks fantastic. And the nice thing about this figure is I don't think there's any leather or faux leather stuff. So he's going to last a long time. I doubt there's any wires in this cape. We'll see. But I don't see it breaking down, so man, this is so cool. All right, let me get this thing completely unboxed and we'll take a closer look. All right, and Revan comes with a bunch of directions. It shows you, he does come with USB-powered lightsabers, which I'm so glad Hot Toys is doing that now instead of the little batteries that go into the forearms. So it's really cool. It's a little more work with the wires, but it's well worth it. And it shows you how to change those out. And then there's the little battery pack. You plug the sabers in there and you turn it on and the sabers light up. And down there it shows, I forgot he has two different types of sabers. The purple one is that one, and that's the red one. And then it shows you where the wires are in the hood and also in the cape. There are wires, so you can pose the wires. You can pose the cape. And then back here, this is kind of cool. I don't think my Vader came with this clamp. This clamp you can put on the posing stand. Or this, you can place it in the belt in the battery pack so it stays on and when you have the sabers lit up. And then it tells you that the armor is not removable. Don't try removing it, you'll damage the figure. So that's the directions. And here is Darth Revan and everything he comes with. one thing that's bothering me, and it's my OCD, is this frand here, this loincloth thing on the front here is not straight. It's pushed over. It's like this circle in the belt system needs to rotate, but it's all locked into place. I can't move it, or I'm afraid to try moving it. So that kind of bums me out. I guess it doesn't need to be perfect. It's not, it's George's used universe, right? But it just bothers me that it doesn't go straight. Other than that, this figure is fantastic. I've played with him for a few minutes. Some difficulties with range and mobility in the mid-torso for obvious reasons with the armor. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. But here's all the stuff he comes with. And let's take a look at this coin, because this was the exclusive. And I haven't taken it out. It's in a nice wrapping, which tells me this coin might actually be some sort of metal that I don't know. I don't think it's gold. It definitely has some heft to it. I haven't done that much research to even know. But there it is. There's a picture of Revan. It says Darth Revan on top, and the bottom it says Sith Empire. Well, let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, Darth Revan, Sith Empire. How cool is that? And this is three-dimensional. It's not flat, which is super cool. This thing's got some serious heft. On the back it says Star Wars. It says Hot Toys, something. Limited edition, limited maybe? Hot Toys Limited, I think. Hard to tell. But yeah, pretty cool. That's a cool piece. It'd be cool if it would come with a little like stand. So you could display the coin in the stand. I guess you could always put it up against the base maybe, but it's going to fall. It's going to roll. So yeah, not really sure what I'm going to do with this. It'd be cool to display it. I guess I could buy a little stand for it, a little plastic stand maybe, and set it down. But yeah, pretty cool that I got that. And that's the exclusive version. So here's Revan. And we'll kind of zoom in on some details here with his sabers. There's the sabers for the red saber. And this is the USB one with the wire. Non-USB, and you get the standard blade and then the swooshing blade if you want to have him like he's in an action pose. And then over here we have the purple version because he has two sabers he uses. And I love the look of this saber. It's so mean looking. It looks so awesome. And then there's the display stand. I think this is a reused stand, but it has a little bronze wash on it. So I think it's maybe a little different from what we're used to seeing. And then it says Darth Revan Legends. Yeah, and then there's the crotch grabber for it. And then here is the power pack, and this is the one that clips onto the crotch grabber if you want, or that one clips on the back of his belt. And then a couple extra ball pegs, wrist pegs, which is nice. Hot Toys gives these. I've never had any break, but they gave you a couple. And then there's the hands. The hands look really nice. Not too many hands. You get the open hands on the figure, and then like this force hand. The gloves look really nice. Check those gloves out. And that detail is really awesome. The bronze on top there. And then this one's for holding the saber. He doesn't have any fists. He doesn't come with any fists. I can't believe that. I mean, not that I'd use fists. Although, yeah, see, he'd be using a fist like he's squeezing his fist for like a show of power. Unless I missed something in the box, but I don't think he has any fists. That's crazy to think they don't give fists in this day and age. And it's the same hands on this side. So the Force one's cool, but I'll probably be having them dual wielding anyway, like most people will. There's really no need to, I guess, use to have fists. But you could make one of these a fist if you wanted, I guess, like that. So yeah, let's take a look at the figure now. Get a closer up view of Revan. He does look really nice. Let me bring him forward some. The hood is very thick, if you can tell. And I may have to mess with this more. It is wired, which is nice. So you can kind of play it to get it looking good. It does seem kind of puffy. Let me get my camera up a bit higher. It does seem a bit puffy. Although it looks better in camera than it does in person, I think. But there's the cloak. But I guess for a Jedi cloak, this is kind of par for the course, right? Mine seems to have been done up here. I need to bring that down somehow. That needs to come down. That's where that wire, there's 2 wires in the middle of the cape as well. But I need to like try to fold that over. But yeah, kind of like that is how it's supposed to look. Yeah, it does look really good. Now, if we pull this down, which is not normal for Revan, here's what his helmet looks like. It doesn't open up to reveal a face or anything like that. There's the back workings of the helmet. That's kind of cool. They didn't have to do all this. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, check that out. I can't say I've ever seen the back of Revan's helmet, that I remember at least. I mean, I played KOTOR. It's been so long since I played that game. But as you can tell, it looks very Mandalorian, doesn't it? Before we knew what kind of Mandalorians were, this game came out. It's before the Clone Wars cartoon, before all that stuff. We only heard rumors of, like, you know, Boba Fett. Like, he got his armor from a Mandalorian, or he was a Mandalorian. There was all these thoughts as to what the heck Mandalorians were. And then the Clone Wars came out, and then the Mandalorian TV show came out. But this predates all that. I miss this time of Star Wars. Really do. It was a good time, man. I know people said the EU got kind of convoluted towards the end, and that's probably true. But the same thing's happening to Disney EU, same thing's happening. They said they made this all canon because it was so convoluted. They just wanted to make their own stuff and make their own money. But I digress. And then here is the armor. It looks very, you know, Roman, gladiatorial. It looks like this is all bronze work here, and this is kind of like leather. Even though this is like a hard plastic. It's all plastic. The harness looks really good. And that's where it comes together in front there. Yeah, I just wish this skirt piece, this red skirt piece, was more straight. I might be able to mess with it, but I don't think this ring will move. If the ring could move, it would make it a lot better. And this is all plastic, so I don't want to break this. I'd be very careful with this. That's why they say this doesn't come apart. So you got to be careful. And then his shoulder pads are bronze. I think they're on Velcro. Yeah, they're Velcroed on, which is cool. You can see some damage done. Like he's been in battles with Mandalorians. Oh man, so cool. There's the van braces. Look at those. Look at the detail. All beat up. Man, I love the used look. It's so good. There's the hands. And then these pleats, almost like Vader pleats, right? Done very well. It is all one piece in front. I always thought it was cut in the middle there for his legs, but it's all one piece in front. It's cut in the back. So you're not going to really be seeing his legs. And then there's this, how this looks in the back there. And then, yeah, you can see it's cut here. And then there's his boots. One thing I liked they did was they made the boots a two-piece. So they're separate. It's a ball joint on the ankle. And you can pull this shin pad down to make it look like it's covering. That's the way they need to do most of the boots. Get you better range of motion. You can get some good rocker in there. Yeah, that's how they need to be doing them all, I think. But yeah, those look really good. Yeah, this thing is weathered really nice. Really nice. So let me try and maybe, we go over articulation, right? Articulation. Everyone likes to see that. So the head is on a ball joint. I think the neck is too. He looks up really good. He looks down pretty good. And he can rotate his head, turn his head around. He has a full range of motion for the head, which is nice. Arms are on ball hinge, I think, but they also row. And there's also butterflies, I believe. But you can go about 90. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, ball hinge, wrist peg. The van braces do get in the way a little bit for mobility, just a bit, but you can play with them somewhat. And then the torso, there is a ball joint there, but you have nothing. Literally nothing because of this armor piece. And I know people might complain about that, but that's the character design. That's the character design, and I'm okay with it. So it's fine. The legs go out, not really 90, and it's hard to tell what's up with the legs here. Not a fat suit, but maybe it's because the skirt is so tight. No, that's as far as it goes. Oh, because it's hitting this it's hitting this. That's why it's hitting this ring. So you can't get 90, as you can see. And then the knees are nice ratchets. You can't hear them, but you can feel the ratchets as you move them. Double jointed knees, and then the ball hinge foot. And then there is thigh swivel as well. And the arms, going back to these, they dip, they go up, they dip, and they can go in a little bit. Not a whole lot because it's armor as far as butterfly. So he is limited, and I'm okay with that because he's going to look awesome. Most bad guys, in my opinion, look awesome in just like a power pose. So if you get both these sabers lit, maybe one behind his back and one out front, I think that will look fantastic. And you can make him with this the hood. If you get it just right, you can make him look really sweet, really awesome. What a cool figure. So let me try and get a couple poses in here real quick. All right, and here's an official pose you'll see with Revan, where he's got the lightsabers crossed. The purple one says left hand, the red one says left hand. And yeah, it looks really cool. I won't probably use this pose in my shelf, but this is something you'll see a lot of this figure. It looks really good. And then you can see the sabers in better detail here. Almost looks like Obi-Wan's saber a little bit, in my opinion. You got some gold towards the top there, though. And then this one here, boy, I almost feel like, whose saber does this look like? Is it Kylo Ren a little bit? I know he had a cross a T, though. But those fins, it's like they stole a little bit. Or maybe I'm thinking of Dooku. I can't remember who I'm thinking of. But yeah, that's a mean-looking lightsaber right there. For some reason, I've always equated this figure to Dritz from D&D, because he had the two different swords, and they were named. I don't think these sabers are named. But yeah, I always just kind of equated Revan and Dritz kind of together with, they had their own two different swords. Pretty cool, though. Let's strike another pose. Okay, check this out. This is really cool. He's holding his sabers behind him like this. This would be cool, but I don't think I have enough room on my shelf to display him like this, but that is a super cool look. And I have the cape. I've used the wire on the cape to kind of have it wind blowing a little bit. Yeah, that is fantastic. Look at that, man. Super cool. Let me put him on the pedestal real quick. Yeah, check this out. Super cool. Super cool. Sabers are so far, they're hitting stuff. Man, look at that. Look at that figure. It's a well designed figure. All the work with the whole cloak and everything turned out really good. Apart from that red piece in front being messed up. His cape has got some dirt on it too. It almost looks like a ring wraith cape from Lord of the Rings. It's all tattered and cut up. Look at that. Yeah, that is really cool. And then there's the pleats and the lower skirt. Those rings, that armor. Yeah, this figure catches the light really good. He's going to look great in the display. All right, let me try setting up this USB powered thing to show you guys what it looks like. All right, and here he is with his sabers lit up. I have some of the lights off, not all of them, but as you can see, that red, it looks better in real life. Although I think Hot Toys could do a better job with their sabers. It doesn't look like a saber in real life. I know it's hard to do, though, I'm sure. And then there's the purple one. The purple one, to me, looks a little better. And it's actually brighter at the tip. That light goes all the way through. Now, it's as you can tell, you can see wires here. If I zoom back, you can see the wires, and you can try and hide those wires like through the van braces and stuff. You're still going to see them a little bit, but with it being a black figure, it might be easier to hide them. And you have to get a certain pose, otherwise you're going to have them sticking out like this. So I'm not going to use them in my display. I'm not too big on the lightsaber light up. I'm more like Vader with this chest and platforms that light up. But as you can see here, if I can zoom in, I've got it attached to the base right here. It just clicks, it just connects there, and you plug both the sabers on top, and then there's an on and off. There's actually 2 on switches. What's the second switch do, I wonder? Nothing. It does the same thing. In Vader, it'll make the Return of the Jedi Vader, his head will flicker with the lightning. But this one is just up and down, it's the same thing. So kind of cool. I got to show some bad news, though. Something that happened to my red saber hilt when I was trying to put it on. All right, so check this out. You got to be very careful with this red one. It broke. It's disappointing. Just trying to get it in his hand. And I was being so careful not to get the wire in his hand. And this thing, I mean, it didn't take much pressure and it just snapped. I can probably glue it. But man, what a bummer that is. If I ever want to use this. I mean, you can put in his hand and kind of the hand will hold it straight, but it's just not perfect. As you can see, it's a bent saber. That's never a good thing. So that kind of bums me out. So be very careful with this saber in particular. That's a weak point right there. As far as the purple one, I don't see any weak points. I didn't have a trouble. You have to be very careful when you put the hand on that you don't crimp this wire. So just be careful with that. Let me show what they look like with the swoosh effects. Okay, and here's what Revan looks like if you use the swoosh effect for the saber. It's a pretty heavy effect, and as you can see, there's a little bit of play in this saber on the right hand. It doesn't hold straight. It's disappointing how they did this. It doesn't, it's got way too much play in it, so that's disappointing. But this one looks pretty good. This one's got a better design. So they messed the design up on that right hand, that right hilt. I'm not much for these, but they will light up as well. I probably should have shown that before I took it all apart, but yeah. So you can see it's kind of bent. It's disappointing that it does that. It's so heavy. If I put the other one back in, it's not as bad. It doesn't sit perfectly either. This whole saber on this side is just not the best. At least my copy isn't. It's a little bit better now. You just gotta be careful, especially with that USB one that I broke. So, and I was being careful and I still broke it. So just an FYI. Okay, let's go ahead and do a couple comparisons and then wrap this video up. All right, and 2 of my absolute favorite EU Extended Universe Star Wars characters, Thrawn and Revan. I'm so glad I got both these. While this is the Disney version, we can still say he originated with Extended Universe. And side by side, these look fantastic. This Revan is to the hood about 13 inches, with the hood down to the top of the head about 12 and a half. So he's a taller figure, which is accurate, should be. But man, they look so good side by side. Okay, and here is Revan next to Vader. As you can see, Vader is still taller, which he should be. I think Vader's like 14 inches, if I'm not mistaken. But boy, man, 2 Sith Lords side by side. These are the only Sith Lords that I own in Hot Toys form. I've tried to get Darth Maul a few times, always canceled. And at this point, I'm just sticking with original trilogy and anything like this, like original Legend stuff, I'll probably get. But after that, that's it for Star Wars with me. But yeah, those look really good. Okay, and just for kicks, Mando, Luke. I got Luke kind of crouched down a little bit, so he looks a lot shorter than he would be, although he wouldn't be nowhere near as tall as Revan, which I think is also accurate. So I think height-wise, Revan is spot on. Looks really good. Okay, at the end of the day, is this Revan figure worth it? Well, it's to note that he is hard to get now. On BBTS, he's sold out, and on Sideshow, which is where I got mine, he's a waitlist. Both the collector's edition and exclusive edition are waitlisted. So if you want to get this figure, jump on the wait list. You may get it. It may be fulfilled. He was originally $270, which is up there for a single figure release, but he does have the USB powered. And I think for mine, I had $100 in Sideshow points I used, so I got a good deal on this guy. So for me, well worth it. Glad I have it. I would say if you were big into KOTOR back in the day, this is a figure you might want to have, because he's like the Darth Vader of KOTOR, pretty much. And I think it turned out really good. Bummed out that I kind of broke this USB powered thing. I should be able to glue it okay though, but just be careful. Keep in mind about that. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think. Give me a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, this has been Hot Toys Darth Revan. Thanks for watching.